Week 8 in the NFL is in the books. The Dodgers have a 3-game lead. NBA action is back. That and more next on Goode Sports. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Randy Goode, and it has been an exciting week, but I also wanted to just start off and say thanks again for all the support. We've had a lot of subscribers. We're getting now more each and every day. Thank you, everyone. If you're watching, you haven't subscribed, it does mean a lot to us when you subscribe. So please hit that real quick, that subscribe button. Like what you see. If you have any comments you want to make, please add that. We really do appreciate it. I'm joined again by Cameron Harkleroad and Trent Sneed. And but first, I want to start off with the World Series, since that's the big ticket item right now. And as a longtime Giants fan, San Francisco Giants fan, I'm looking at things and I see what's happened to Fernando Valenzuela passed away recently. And it was just a really sad moment. And he was somebody, when I was a kid, I'd watch and I'd root against him. He was a great pitcher. I had a lot of respect for him. And losing him to Dodger Nation, I know, was really, really hard. And that was just a week ago. And here they are in the World Series right now. And what happens, it's like there's like a little bit of raining going down and sprinkling over the Dodgers, as you have Freddie freaking Freeman. He has had a home run now in 3 straight games, starts off with a walk-off grand slam. Imagine this moment, a walk-off grand slam. You're down in the bottom of the 10th inning, and he hits a home run. Game 2 hits a home run. Game 3 hits a home run. You couldn't write this story in Hollywood. You wouldn't even believe it. And so it is so cool to watch this. And then watching him celebrate with his dad and the genuine moments of all the times that they have thrown BP to him and all those special moments, it's really cool. And as a Giants fan who grew up and I did not like the Dodgers, I'm taking my hat off right now and I'm just enjoying the moment and I am living it. This is what I love about sports, moments like this. And you've got what in the Yankee history, you've got Reggie Jackson was known as Mr. October. Well, 3 home runs in a row. There might be a new addition to Mr. October in Freddie freaking Freeman. He's insane. So very impressed with him. And I wanted to start off, Cameron, and just talk with you. This is 2 dynasties going at it. You got these 2 big markets. Thought it would be a little bit closer. Right now, it's not.
I didn't.
What do you think about what Freddie freaking Freeman is doing?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. You know, to do something, to be for Freddie, he's their second up to bat after Ohtani. Ohtani hits a pop fly out, and so you know your best hitter or whatever is out, and you're like, well, there goes our chance. You know, that's what you're thinking as a Dodgers fan. And then Freddie Freeman steps up to the plate, and you're like, okay, this guy's a good hitter, but he's not Ohtani.
Right.
You know, he's not the guy. Bases are loaded, and you in those moments as an athlete, you tend to just kind of like tunnel vision. Just everything goes quiet.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything. You don't really see anything. It's just kind of muscle memory.
It's like slow motion.
Yeah, absolutely. And to hit a grand slam in the, in the first game of the World Series, and to just really solidify like the momentum and the idea that you guys belong to be here and you're the better team. Like even our best players are better than your best players.
Yeah.
I will say the Yankees did put in a nobody pitcher. That guy hadn't pitched in like a month.
He's been hurt.
Apparently.
Yeah, he just came in.
And so they threw him in.
He came back a little early.
And he
pitch.
made a bad mistake.
one pitch to Freeman, and it was gone.
Yeah, so
it was just.
I never expected the World Series to be close. In all honesty, I knew the Dodgers were gonna win. I didn't think they were gonna run away with it like they have. I didn't think they were gonna be up 3. But the Yankees are bad. The Yankees just have a lot of money. So they're going to beat out teams that don't have a lot of money, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're good.
So here we are. I'm thinking of this moment, and both of you guys can jump in here. What are some... I'm watching this moment, and it's like, in the World Series history, there's never been a walk-off grand slam. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, if you could have any moment... and you're in a sporting situation, try to think of like the coolest moment you could have. And as a kid, you're always growing up that you're going to have the winning touchdown or the winning home run or whatever. What is the coolest sports moment that you actually watched happen that you're like, I remember that day, I remember where I was when that happened? What would be a cool moment for you?
I was just waking up from a nap one game.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest moments of all time, watching Russell Wilson not run the ball.
It was a hard moment. Marshawn Lynch. They forgot that they had Marshawn Lynch.
My bad.
Okay, so it was a bad moment.
I'm sorry, I just had to do that.
What
You
about
know what's funny? My dad was at that Super Bowl.
Oh,
He was.
yeah, really?
Oh yeah, my dad was at that Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's kind of suck, you know.
Oh.
Some no-name guy, Malcolm Butler, gets his first start.
Oh.
No, he didn't even start. I think he got the other guy got benched, right? Yeah. So he came off the bench, you know, never really played before
Made a
in the
great
NFL.
play, but
Makes a great play on the ball.
Marshawn Lynch, guaranteed touchdown, and he had multiple opportunities.
I remember exactly where I was. I had a bag of chips in this hand.
Yeah.
And I was just waking up from a nap, and I kind of had one chip like this. And I was like, oh, idiots. And I just continued to eat the chip. You know?
Really?
Nah.
Well,
I was
let's.
like sobbing.
Well, so that is a hard moment. But what about a fun, exhilarating where you would want to be? I guess you could want to be Butler in that situation, but like, what would be your moment that you said, I saw something and it was a team that I enjoyed, and that was a cool moment?
I'll let Cam go first.
No, you can go first.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
you
yeah.
have one.
Oh, yeah.
Off the dome.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it's one of the greatest plays of all time. You know, I don't think it's a shame to say that. You know, it's like a walk-off home run, only better. You know, it's just one of those things where like you sit there and you go, man, could it be any better than this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I had to watch my lonely Eagles just absolutely scrape the bottom of the barrel the whole entire night. Okay, it's December 19th. Right before Christmas, you know, getting real excited to see what's in my stocking for Christmas. And, you know, I had to watch the Eagles go down, you know. It's not looking good for the Birds. It's 24-3 in this first half, right? Losing to a sad New York Giants team. And then we put one little point on the board, okay? It's now 24-10 in the third quarter, right? And there's not much time left, and I'm thinking, whew, it's going to be a bad night, you know? And mind you, this is 2010, okay? I'm just a kid at this point. Still a kid, but, you know. I'm 11. I'm 11 at this point, okay? And I'm thinking, man, listen, I will say nothing's more electric than watching Michael Vick play football, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, as a kid, I was just elated by watching him play football. But we're down, and they come back 28 points in the fourth freaking quarter. But the best part of it all is the last 7 points. Okay. Oh, Tom Coughlin, the old coach of the Giants.
Yes.
Right before they kick the punt to the Eagles, there's like 20 seconds left in the game, okay? They're going to kick the punt. They're going to go overtime. He walks over to the punter. He looks him dead in the eyes and says, just don't kick the ball to Deshaun Jackson. Just don't kick the ball to the guy, okay? And what does he do?
He kicks it right to him.
He punts that ball right to Deshaun Jackson, and I'm just living a high.
And he's a pogo
I'm on
stick.
a high, right? So I start on a low because
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're not going to punt it to us.
Yeah.
They'd be idiots if they did, okay? But then they kick it to him on a high because now Deshaun Jackson gets a chance to run it back. What does he do? Drops it. Back down low.
Just
Back down on a low.
to add flair.
And then he picks it up, and he becomes the human joystick.
Yes.
Runs through the hole, And then he runs around the outside, and he just finally walks in for the touchdown. I remember, oh gosh, what's his name? Brandon Jacobs was the running back for the New York Giants at the time. I can still picture his stupid face chasing Deshaun Jackson, just thinking, maybe if I could touch him, you know?
He's got no hope.
He's got no hope. No. And man, that guy was fast.
Well,
and honestly, by far the greatest sporting moment I've watched live.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it, just, honestly, it was a perfect game except for one thing, and I want you to guess what that one thing was.
I have no idea.
Troy Aikman announced that stupid game. He announced that stupid game, and I had to hear him say the whole entire time, well, down in Dallas, we got quarterbacks who are much better here than Philadelphia and the New York Giants.
He has to say something derogatory.
I hate Troy Aikman.
It was in his contract.
No, honestly, Troy Aikman's not that bad. It's Tony Romo I can't stand.
Oh.
Tony Romo's the worst.
Well, let me go over as I'll let Cameron go third. I'm gonna go ahead and step in here and give Cameron a second here. A couple moments for me was definitely Magic Johnson, Game 4, making a skyhook shot, beating the Boston Celtics in Boston Garden. Fantastic moment. I actually got to go to the Western Conference Finals, so I was at the game. When Robert Horry, we were down the entire game, and with 1 second to go, the ball gets tipped out to Robert Horry, and he shoots a 3. We're down 2. Lets it go, buzzard, and then he makes it, and the whole crowd went crazy. Fantastic moment. Those were two of my, and I was able to be at that game, so that was pretty cool. Seeing Joe Montana come down and do his thing in that drive against Cincinnati, watching him beat the Cowboys. There's been several moments, but those are just some big moments. I'd love to be.
I actually just saw an even better one, and I'm sure you watched this one too. And actually, Cameron probably watched this one as well. But this is when you think of iconic moments, this is easily one of the most iconic moments of all time. NBA Finals 2013, Heat versus the Spurs.
Are you talking about the three-pointer in the corner?
Yeah, I'm
Ray
talking
Allen?
about the three-pointer, Randy. I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it.
That was a big moment. It was a big moment.
Game 6, the Heat are down. If they lose Game 6, they lose. The Spurs win the NBA Finals if they lose that game.
And if his heel comes down, I don't even know.
Yeah, he's literally on his toes. He's on his toes. If his heel comes down, he's out of bounds.
Yeah.
From the corner, off of an offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Gets the ball in the corner, hits the game-tying 3.
Do you know the most?
Oh, so iconic.
You know the more forgotten part of that play is Pop had Tim Duncan on the bench.
Yeah,
he didn't have his rebounder in the game.
Yep, didn't have the rebounder in the game.
Might have hurt him.
But what's the coolest thing about that too is not only was the play iconic, and the team in general. For the most part, the Heat are a very well-known household NBA team, right? Not only is the play iconic, but as kids growing up in the schoolyard, we all imitated Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because it was a good thing, his shot form wasn't necessarily
but he had
a very iconic shot form. That ball, the way
shoot.
he would swing it in front of his face, because he would do this kind of swinging motion.
Yeah.
The way he would swing it, and it was just so iconic. So it's a very iconic player with a very iconic shot form in the corner for a very iconic shot 3 in a game 6.
That was a big moment.
Yeah.
That was a big moment.
Do or die.
Cameron, what about you? Can you try to beat the Miami Heat thriller or the Lakers winning in Boston Garden? What about you?
I just have one thing to say.
Oh boy, here we go.
Does the name Chris Lynn Davis Jr. ring any bells?
No.
No?
No.
Hold on. Let me see his face.
Is this leather helmets you're talking about?
I'll help you. I'll remind you here.
Okay.
Auburn's gonna win the football game.
Oh my gosh! Yes!
They had all offensive linemen in.
Auburn's gonna win the football game.
Is this the field goal?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Kick
no,
6.
that's a killer.
Kick 6.
Killer.
That was a major moment.
Listen.
I can't imagine being in a college football stadium and pulling that off.
Insane.
The field just erupts in people flowing over the stands. The whole, oh man.
And this is who you have to make the tackle. All offensive linemen, a quarterback that's not mobile, and a kicker.
Yep.
Just ask the 49ers about mobile kickers. Wow.
Absolutely.
That's a good moment.
This is
Auburn's
why
gonna win the football
this
game.
is the thing though. It's like for us, it's not as big of a deal, but I guarantee you, there's not a single Bama fan that doesn't know who that person is.
Nope.
Oh,
Not a single Bama fan. Not only that, it was in the Iron Bowl, wasn't it?
Yep. I remember 2013.
wow.
Man, that's
2013
so
Iron Bowl.
legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Just to have the gall to go out there and kick a game-winning field goal, and then it to come up short and see this guy run it
109
all the way
yards.
back.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's
That
pretty
was
awesome.
crazy.
You know, he probably still gets free drinks wherever he goes in Auburn.
Probably.
Cameron, do you have any other iconic moments that you can think of?
This isn't necessarily for my team, but the finals between Cavs and the Warriors, 2016.
Was that Kyrie Irving when he made his?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the block by James, like
Yeah.
that whole.
Yeah. Oh,
It
Iguodala.
sucks, but it's like really cool.
Cool moments. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I just, as a kid, you
Yeah,
grow up and
Classic.
you always imagine making the three or throwing the touchdown or catching the pass or
Yeah.
the home run. And I just, Freddie Freeman, hats off to you. What you're doing is cool. And I think it's extra cool that even though you're on my rival Dodgers, I respect what you're doing. And watching you celebrate with your dad, for me, was special. So I thought that was really cool. All right, now we're moving on to the games last week that we predicted. We'll first start off with a Thursday night game where the Rams upset. All of us got it wrong, the Vikings. Cameron, what are your thoughts? Was that just a one-time thing for the Rams to get that win, or do you think maybe they're going to be on the rise going forward? What are your thoughts of that game?
I think the Rams had a good chance because Puka and Cooper Kupp came back, which I forgot to think about. I don't think anyone expected them to perform as well as they did on their first game back.
Right.
But they both played really good, and that helped. Kyron Williams has been playing great all year. He's had a touchdown every single game this year. Only running back to do that.
His snap share is unreal.
Yeah,
too.
it's nuts.
He has like a 93% snap share, which is like unheard of in the NFL.
Yeah. So they did good. I mean, Sam Darnold did what Sam Darnold does, which is just kind of peter out. We all kind of expected him not to last the whole season, and I think we're on the tail end of the hype and where you've hit the peak, and now we're coming back down to reality, which is it's Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah. Listen, this is the thing about quarterbacks like Sam Darnold, right? We have so much history of them just not being elite talent, and then when they come out and they look elite, you always worry about that, like one bad game could just ruin them for the rest of the season.
yeah.
Because they're gonna give in at that point. And it's easy to give in, right?
Mentally, they're not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think a good example of someone kind of proving that they actually deserve a starting spot is Geno. I mean, Geno was bouncing around, doing nothing, kind of just being whoever, and then Seattle picked him up. We lost Russell Wilson. All Seattle fans were like, it's over. We have no quarterback. We have Geno Smith. Like, who is this guy? This guy's going to suck. No, he almost made the playoffs. So I think any quarterback can be good in the right system. It just has to be a system that works for the quarterback and not a quarterback that has to work for the system. And I think if coaches and offensive coordinators realize that more, they get a lot more out of their players.
So here's the only thing that I would say. You're absolutely right. We have a history, and the history has not been kind to Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
No.
In that game, though, he had 140 quarterback rating. He threw for 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a dang good game.
Yeah, no, he doesn't look bad by chance.
He's still playing well.
Yeah.
Now whether it will be, they didn't lose because of him. He played a great game. Will he be able to continue this? That's the question going forward.
I think what I'm worried about for Sam, though, is I don't necessarily think their defense is elite, and that means that he's going to have to at times put the team on his back. And I don't know.
And he's
if that's
never
possible.
shown he can do that.
Yeah,
not for a long period of time. Yeah, he hasn't done that. So let's move on now.
Before we move on, I do want to say something really cool.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford, end quote, said that he threw maybe 1 or 2 balls to Puka before that game.
Oh, really?
Yes. Like, he quite literally got off the injury reserve, had a walkthrough, and that was it.
And
then played. And he had, 8 catches in that game?
Yeah.
Do
he
you
played really well.
Do you think that they would have traded Cooper Kupp if they lost that game at the trade deadline?
No, I don't think so.
There was a lot of rumors that they were going to do that.
There was, but I feel like this is the thing. The reason why I don't think they would is because of the market value. To make it make sense for them, because he's on a reasonable contract, to make it make sense for them, they'd have to get a first or a second. And how many people are willing to pay that for a wide receiver that's almost in their 30s?
No, the time to trade somebody's in the offseason, not here. You usually get, certain cents on the dollar, 80% of the value or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they might not have. So, well, now we're going to talk about the Eagles. Your Eagles.
Sorry, he is 31, by the way.
Okay.
I did not know he's that old.
Yeah, so Eagles
Go
win,
Birds.
and that's
Go
a
Birds.
couple
Bengals
good wins in a row.
Yeah.
They beat the Bengals in Cincinnati,
Yep.
and Burrow's been playing great.
Doesn't matter.
What are your thoughts, Trent, of how the Eagles are playing? It's now 2 games.
Let me just say here.
They don't start well.
I came in this room a couple weeks ago.
Yes, you did.
After one win, I said, "Listen, Randy, I'm not sold, okay?
Okay.
I'm not sold." I came in the week after that. We played a pretty good game against the New York Giants, who gave the Steelers a run for their money tonight, okay? Not sold. I said, Randy, I'm not sold, okay?
Uh-oh. I think we might be...
I'm back, baby!
A bull market.
I'm getting it tattooed on my ribs next week, baby. I'm putting Philadelphia Eagles 2025, baby, right here on this rib cage. I said, thank you, Lord, for Jalen Hurts not throwing an interception. He ain't thrown an interception in 3 weeks, Lord. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? I love it, man. Hey, listen. It feels nice to see a Bama quarterback just work over that LSU Tiger, man. Woo-hoo! No, but in all seriousness, it was a good game. The Bengals did look like they were pretty well loaded up to have a pretty good day. The hard thing for the Bengals right now is Joe Burrow and that offense is still playing at a pretty elite level.
Yes.
But their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's their problem.
you can't let a team like the Eagles come into your house and score 37. You're just not going to win football games that way.
And they didn't really score much in the first quarter.
Yeah. There's no
So it's 3 quarters, all the points.
There's no quarterback, including Patrick Mahomes, in the NFL that is going to be able to win football games when you're giving up almost 40.
Well,
Consistently.
Well, maybe.
Consistently.
the big thing is, it doesn't matter who you are. When you get your weapons back, you're a different team.
Yeah.
And they now have some of their weapons back. Now, will it last? My recommendation would be, if you're going to get a tattoo, you might want to get one of those temporary tattoos. That would be. But I'm happy for your team.
Grace would actually kill me.
Just make sure it washes away in about 3 or 4 days, because next week's coming.
We always talk about the offense with the Eagles. They have a high-powered offense. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. Saquon's been putting up 100 yards every game. Actually, Saquon's going to be really close. I mean, he's going to easily break 1,500 at this rate. He might even get into the 1,800s. So, yeah, if he doesn't, as long as he doesn't have an injury, he stays healthy. But this is what I do want to say. We got 2 rookie cornerbacks. We got Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. And Quinyon Mitchell was on Jamar Chase for 60% of the game.
Yep.
He only had 2 targets on Jamar Chase, and only one of them was caught.
That's awesome.
So
that was what they needed last year.
He's doing really good.
Good for them.
Honestly, he's playing really good. I really like our starting cornerbacks right now. Honestly, as much as it pains me to say, I'm happy with Darius Slay. Sounds like he's got a little injury going on, but Isaiah Rodgers picks up for him, and I like Isaiah Rodgers a lot. I think he could end up being...
Is he in the slot?
No, Isaiah Rodgers on the outside.
Oh, Cooper DeJean.
He's in the slot.
Yeah, that's right.
And there was a huge play by Cooper DeJean in the third quarter on Jamar Chase. That was just a massive play. Great open field tackle.
That's awesome.
He's playing well too. Maybe not at the same level that Quinyon Mitchell's playing at, but those guys, if we can pick up and play really, really good defense in the back end, I don't think our front four is really as good as it's been in the past, but if you can cover, it helps a lot.
Well, it'll be fun to watch as they come up, and they got the Commanders and the Eagles coming up. Those two
I will
teams,
say that.
That was an unbelievable ending to that game.
Yeah. You know what I really want, Randy?
What's
I
that?
was driving here today, and I was just thinking, man, I want to play the Commanders right now.
Yeah.
And, man, I almost don't want to say this on air, but I'm going to say it. Okay. I'm going to say it. Listen, Jaden Daniels, I'm so proud of you, young man. You're doing great out there. You've been really putting on the points for me in fantasy football. I really appreciate you, okay? But I'm not starting you versus the Eagles because, listen, buddy, there's levels to this, and you're going to find out really quick what a good football team looks like. I'm sorry, man. Anyways,
Well,
moving on.
Speaking of a good
football
team,
How about them Chiefs,
the Chiefs, in a surprise. Win a close game against the Raiders, but they win.
Of course we did.
And what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about things? Obviously, you're undefeated, so you got to be happy about that.
Yeah, the only undefeated team in the league.
Yep.
Still.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling great. Travis Kelce finally played like Travis Kelce. That was nice.
National Tight Ends Day.
DeAndre Hopkins had 2 catches.
So that's the interesting thing, though, is that's a question I have for you, Cameron. What do you think? Last week I said on here that I think they needed to get somebody desperately, and 2 days later they went and got somebody. Mm-hmm. Is he going to make a difference or not? Because he's obviously an older veteran. He's not the same D-Hop as the old days, but what do you think?
I think
they obviously saw the same thing I was seeing.
Yeah, I think he'll be good, but I don't know. I love our like 3rd and 4th string receivers a lot. I'm super big on McCole Hardman, and I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm really big on him, and I love the way he plays, and I think he should get more touches, but he doesn't. He's just got really good like game sense. He just knows where to be and when to be there. He reminds me a lot of like Tyler Lockett, where he's not necessarily the big flashy guy, but he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And he's gonna know where to go, and like he's gonna make the right calls. And you know, I like having Kareem Hunt. He's been playing great. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe we were just able to grab
he's
him.
He's been great for you.
Yeah.
He was just a free agent.
Yeah,
he was just hanging out there.
He was just chilling.
There's probably 12 teams in the NFL right now that can't run the ball, but he was just hanging out.
Yeah, he was just hanging out.
Yeah.
So that was good. I like having Kareem Hunt back, and he's been playing great. Travis Kelce got his first touchdown finally, so that's good. We played a good game. Raiders played a good game, but ultimately Gardner Minshew was the quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes was the other one.
Yeah.
So,
Slight edge.
Again, Patrick Mahomes threw another interception.
Yeah.
So,
but he's getting closer to. He's
to
getting
be fair,
closer.
that one was tipped.
Yeah, tipped.
That wasn't like a blatant just threw to the defense.
Tipped is different. I agree with you. I said that before.
Game where he has no interception.
Yeah, because he's behind touchdowns, interceptions.
Yeah.
He's on the wrong side, but he got closer because 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, so he's right there, close to 50-50.
You know what really stood out for me, though, for you guys, and like I truly mean this, that Raiders offense, first of all, just sucks in general.
They're bad.
Okay. But the one thing that really stood out for me is they quite literally ran the ball 20 to 30 times and gained like 15 yards.
Yeah.
Your guys' front four is just
that's what's winning you
unreal.
games.
We have quite possibly the best defense.
Nobody can run on the Chiefs.
They're like triple teaming Chris Jones on one play,
Yeah.
and he still cuts through all 3 of them and makes a tackle on one play. And I'm like, who does that? But they had a bunch of like goal line stops in that game, and it was that front 4. They're just unreal. They're playing at a very elite level, and if they can continue to do that, this team's going to find victories a lot.
Yep. They're impressive.
You don't have to cover for very long when you got your front 4 getting after everybody.
Yeah, exactly. When the quarterback only has 3 seconds, you don't have to
sit
out in
cover.
the field. Yeah.
No. Yep. And they have a good defensive scheme too, so they know when to blitz, when not to. They do everything well. The last game we had, the 49ers-Cowboys Sunday night game, Purdy has beat Dak every time.
I did not see this coming.
Dak has thrown the ball to the 49ers more than any other quarterback. He struggles in those moments, and he got going there late. Lamb is a stud, but I don't know. I'm not jumping on too excited. I'm glad the 49ers won. There were some good things. I think we got Purdy's doing well. Pearsall had a good game.
They even gave him an end around.
Yeah, he had a 39-yard run. He had like 5 catches. The 49ers they got to get healthy.
This is the same story every year.
They just got last year they were the 4th healthiest team in the league, and they went to the Super Bowl, and they are going to get some guys back.
They lost.
Yeah, they did lose, but they will get Greenlaw back. They will get McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year, hopefully back. I think he's coming back for the next game. So
you think McCaffrey's going to play the next game?
That's what they just said.
But you guys have a. You guys don't have a game this week.
No, we don't have a
game. You're talking week 11.
It's 2 weeks, and
week 10.
They just said he's had week after week where he's had no setbacks. So they think that is a projection of when he'll come back. We'll also get our safety back here in a few weeks, and so you never know from there. But when your healthiest receiver on your team was shot 7 weeks ago, that's pathetic for injuries. And I heard this: you can't spell 49ers without ER. Everybody's on ER. So we've got to get our health. We got to get our kicker back. So until I see
Randy,
the healthy team back, I'm not.
You barely won this game.
Randy, I think it's IR.
ER, emergency room.
Oh, yeah, for the NFL, it's IR.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about on people on IR. I'm talking about going to the emergency room. Allah, who was one of our starting, he was 2 days in the hospital with pneumonia.
Listen, if we're going to give people their flowers, let's just go ahead and do it, okay? The Cowboys had a whole extra week to prepare for this game.
They did.
They had almost their whole entire team healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minus Micah.
Yeah. And they had to go in and play a 49ers team that half of them have to use crutches just to get in the stadium.
Yeah.
They still did not look good whatsoever.
They need help. Yeah.
This Cowboys team.
Both teams didn't look good.
As much as the Cowboys don't want to admit it, the trade deadline is coming up.
Jerry Jones isn't going to do nothing.
The trade deadline is coming up, and you're going to get a call from Howie Roseman, and he's going to say,
You're trying to get Parsons.
He's going to say, how much do you want for Micah? And guess what, Jerry? Sell him, because you ain't got no money. You ain't got no football team. You have no playoff hopes. At least let the guy go back home, okay? It's like E.T. Let him go home.
I don't think
Let him go home, Jerry. Anyways,
it's good to dream.
Anyways, the Cowboys, realistically, at the trade deadline, they need to make some moves for the future because this team is not making playoffs this year, and they're not going to be playing at elite level in October December. My bad.
Yeah. So
they haven't been all year. Though.
No. So we all kind of feel like they're obviously their trajectory is not in a good way right now. Who would you think right now? We're halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you say is a team that you think looking forward is going to maybe go forward and maybe make a nice run here in the last half of the season? And who is a team that you think have been maybe playing above where they're at and they're going to maybe falter? I'm going to start off with a team.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I'm going to say who I think has the potential to make a run. Which Cameron's gonna love it. No, it's I think no, they're already good. Cincinnati Bengals. I think they will have. I think they have the best chance of making a run. Burrow is playing awesome. I think Chase and so I think they're going to have the best chance of a team that. Remember, we're finding a team that's struggling. That is going forward.
Yeah.
And so
keyword gonna go forward.
Yeah.
They're not.
They might not. We'll see.
How about I give you a football team that's performing really well right now that I don't think will keep up.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
that's one of the questions. Who is that?
Let me phrase this. You know how they say like I
have that team
special
too.
Teams, special players. Okay.
Yeah.
Special teams, special plays, special players. Okay. Seattle Seahawks just do Seattle Seahawks things.
Yeah.
And I am so skeptical of this team right now. Listen, we went into the season and we said, we don't really know what Seattle is.
Yeah.
We don't. No one knew what Seattle was. And then they come out hot. They're looking really good. Mm-hmm. And then we have weeks like this.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been 2 weeks in a row, right?
They're
it-
playing harder teams
They beat
too. They
Atlanta.
played the easiest games at the beginning. So
That's right. They did beat Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a solid win. I'm just worried about where they're at right now because I'm just
I think that's a good call.
I'm wondering because their record's looking pretty good.
What do you think about the Bears?
What about them?
I'm afraid they're going to fade
I
because
don't-
they've had a good
They
little
were
record.
never up.
Well, no, they had a good record. Their record, that whole division has been
Well, yeah,
insane.
that division's just good.
They just had a heartbreak loss.
they're just never going to be able to beat the Packers and the Lions.
no,
they're just not.
I think they're going to falter. I think they're going to start losing more games.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I don't think that they
that
continue
division
to play
is
hard.
is insane.
forever.
Who's a team that you guys would say that has not played very well this first half though that you think will maybe pick it up a little bit? I have a team that I'm waiting for you. You want me to tell you who I thought you guys were going to say?
I know who I'm going to pick.
Okay.
Well, I don't, because they're kind of falling off right now. They don't have the worst record right now. I think the Bucks are going to pick back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that.
I think the Bucks are going to at least get 9 wins.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I would say that's reasonable.
Maybe 10.
What about you, Trent? What team would you say?
There's a team out in the AFC.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking of.
They're in the East,
Yep.
and it's not the New York Jets.
Nope. No.
The Miami Dolphins look
That's
good.
exactly who I was going to say.
Listen, they do not look bad. I know Cameron loves himself some Miami
That's
Dolphins.
what I thought he was going to say.
He loves to see the fact that nobody can stop Tyreek Hill except for the Miami Caps. Okay, he loves that.
Yeah.
No, they look good. They did lose to the Arizona Cardinals, and
Yep.
if we remember when we started this season, what did Trent say? He said the Cardinals are a dark horse.
You did say that.
And I'm riding that pony all the way to the playoffs.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
They're in
I
the
don't know if
bottom
they'll
of
make
the
the playoffs, but Arizona Cardinals aren't a bad team. I don't think they're a bad team whatsoever. And Miami took him the distance to his first game back. They looked a little sluggish in some areas on offense, and they looked electric in some other areas. That defense, I'm still not really 100% sure about it, but I think Miami has a good chance at picking back up, and they'll make a run for it.
Did you see Tua run the ball and went head first?
Yeah.
Into a tackle. I
He don't care.
I respect his heart. I really do. I worry so much for him. He can't help it.
He's grown. He can make his own decisions.
He can, but I really worry about him. But he goes for it. I mean, from a teammate standpoint, you gotta love a guy that will lay it all on the line.
I do think it's kind of funny that he's not wearing a Guardian cap
for personal
know.
reasons.
for personal reasons, but his teammate, Devon A-Chain, his running back, is.
Yeah.
It's a little ironic if you think about it.
That is crazy. So
I do get it from what I did do some research on this, and they do say that the Guardian cap is actually redundant, and it wouldn't make really much of a difference at all. Now, how much I don't. This is science.
you would think that they would know that beforehand.
Yeah, but this
there
is
would be-
these are football experts. So I guess what they're saying.
science is wrong all the time.
Well, this is what I'm understanding. There's what they said in this interview thing because they were trying to break down why Tua is not wearing a Guardian cap. And from what I'm understanding is the Guardian cap is meant for football helmets that could do a better job in certain areas.
Yeah.
And I guess the helmet that Tua wears specifically is meant for quarterbacks specifically.
Okay.
And
Doesn't he wear a...
supposedly he wears a Visus,
Yeah.
but it's a Visus QB helmet.
Yeah.
And I guess where the padding is, where Tua has had his previous injuries, is actually exactly where it needs to be.
Okay.
So like he already has the most purpose-fit padding for the injuries that he's suffered so far. And what I guess the people from Visus are saying is it's not that it wouldn't necessarily help, but they also don't believe it would necessarily make a difference. If that makes sense.
It's not going to be enough.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I think the guy's heart is amazing. They've got 2 wins. I would not be risking it, but he gets to make that decision. But now I want to move on here.
Just like Bon Jovi once
we've
said,
got
it's my life.
yeah, that's
we
right.
didn't get to talk about the teams that are big that are going to fall.
Well,
Oof.
okay. Well, who do you have?
Commanders.
No, what? The
Yeah.
Commanders?
Listen, let's be honest. There's no way.
Let's be realistic.
They're 6-2.
The only realistic
That's a
choice
good-
here is the Vikings.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
that's the most realistic one.
that's a good one. That's a good point.
The Vikings or the Saints.
Either
of those two, they're going to hit the ground hard.
I was saying
The Saints are already there.
I was saying the
They're
Bears.
close.
The Bears before this game had 2 losses, and they were had one of the best records, and so that was who I was picking. I think they were going down. So
Yeah.
that was my pick. The Vikings are a
They're
possibility.
5-2.
But
They're still 5-2,
Oh.
but I don't think they'll be able. I mean, they play in a tougher division.
yeah.
You
We'll see. We'll see. So Trent, it's time you have a would you rather that you would like to do, and I think I'm interested in this would you rather. So
Yeah.
it's always nice to have that.
All right. Are you ready, Randy?
I'm ready.
Your quarterback of your team is Jared Goff. Okay. You got Jared Goff as your quarterback, okay?
All right.
And this is a would you rather. So basically what I'm saying is this other team will trade you straight up. And you can have whatever quarterback you want
You mean I get Jared Goff for
this other player.
and would I
Straight
do it or
across.
not? Okay.
Okay, ready?
And I'll say no or yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to put a time cap on it just so it makes more sense.
Okay.
So he's got to be your quarterback for the next
Oh yeah, that was what I was going to
He's got to be your quarterback for the next 3 years.
3 years.
I feel like that's long enough to where you can't just pick
Okay.
like Aaron Rodgers, but
Nope.
okay. Anyways,
You gotta pick
Ready.
Aaron Rodgers anyway.
would you rather have Jared Goff
Mm-hmm.
or Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay. Would you rather have Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford?
Jared Goff.
All right. Would you rather have Jared Goff or Trevor Lawrence?
Jared Goff.
Crazy.
Would you rather have Jared Goff or Justin Herbert?
Jared Goff.
Oh,
Would you rather have Jared Goff or Jordan Love?
That's a hard one. I would say Love.
Okay. Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield?
Goff.
That's a terrible pick. No, I'm just kidding.
that's crazy.
I'm sorry. We'll leave this till the end.
That's a tough one
All right.
because Baker's been playing a lot better.
I'll give you a give me. Okay, this is a give me. Jared Goff or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Okay, if you would have picked that one wrong. Jared Goff or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Jared Goff or Dak Prescott?
Jared Goff.
All right, Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts?
I'd go with
Ooh, this is a hard one. Actually,
No, it's not.
I would go what I've been watching early on in the season. I'd say Goff over him.
okay. All right, that's it. That's
Okay.
all I got for you.
That's good. Those are
I
good
feel
questions.
like that's pretty good.
Yeah. The only reason I said Matthew Stafford is because you went 3 years.
Yeah.
If you would have said just this year, I'd have gone Stafford.
Yeah,
Although
I think that's
Stafford
why it makes a
hasn't
difference.
really done.
Aged out.
You
I don't know. I think I'd still probably take, for the next 3 years, I'd probably take Jared Goff over Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
For the next 3 years, anyways.
Yeah. Well, good
Um,
questions.
you took Goff over Herbert, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Herbert is it's the same thing as the Prince. He got a big tall guy, he's got a great cannon, and it doesn't matter what he does, people just say, well, he's still the best. He's still the best.
Yeah.
And he wins nothing. He's not done anything.
It's hard to pick Jordan Love because I feel like we're
I
still
know.
not 100% sure on him.
I agree. I agree with that.
I
That one-
definitely would have picked Baker over Jared, but
I would have picked Baker over Jared.
Yeah.
I would have picked.
there's a couple hard ones. Daniels maybe hasn't done enough either. So
yeah. See, that's another thing too is he's got RG3 written
so-
all over him.
And Goff has been pretty consistent, so that one maybe I could go back on. But yeah, good questions. So, all right, we're going to go now to the NBA. We had something happen, Cameron, historic. There's controversy with it, whatever, but LeBron James and his son, first time they got to be able to play together. Cool moment for them. What are your thoughts about that? Is it a cool moment? Is it tainted by the fact that a lot of people think that Bronny really didn't earn getting there? He's just there because of his dad, or does that not matter? Or what are your thoughts?
I think it would be more of the he doesn't deserve it and he didn't earn it if he was like in the first round. But he was like second round, 43rd pick. Like he was down the line. He wasn't like first off the board type thing, which is crazy because LeBron James made it known that wherever Bronny went, he was going.
I know he did.
But I will also say that the Lakers, the Lakers GM called everyone
He said, "Don't do it."
and was like, "Don't," which is like so threatening.
Yeah.
Like basically threatening your franchise, like we'll ruin you if you take this kid, which is crazy. But anyways,
Just think about the fact that any other team in the NBA had a chance to have LeBron James.
every other team.
Every other team in the NBA had a chance
Imagine
to
the
have
Warriors
LeBron James.
picked him up.
Yeah.
But what about the fact that Bronny James couldn't play at USC and averaged a couple points, and
He
now
played
he's
good.
Well,
He's
he had
playing
some,
good now.
he had some health situation. He had a health situation. Now, he never did necessarily play at
I think
an
he
elite
has.
level.
I think he has a talent situation.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he's an NBA player.
I think we're comparing him to his dad.
No, I mean I'm comparing him to just a mediocre. I mean he's not an NBA player, in my opinion. I think most people's opinion, he's not an NBA player.
He's playing okay.
But that being said, if there's anybody in the NBA that deserves a moment like this and to give somebody an extra chance, it's LeBron James. And that is a cool moment. And so,
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been the face of the league for almost 25 years.
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool moment. And from a dad, I think when I watched him come in together, I was like, that's pretty cool.
I loved JJ
pretty cool.
Redick's comments afterwards. He was like, I didn't even realize what was going on. Everyone started cheering, and it was just like a loose ball. He's like, I didn't understand that. I looked over, and he's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
There's no way, like, that's funny. Well,
But I do want to comment on the Lakers this year because
okay.
so the Lakers basically did nothing in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They did absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they look 10 times better than they did last year. And the sole reason is because they have an actual coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at what JJ Redick's doing now versus whoever, I don't even know who the coach was last year, what he was doing.
Yeah.
If you listen to like some of the huddles that they had, that coach last year was just like, yeah, just be tough on the ball and, really put everything out there. JJ Redick's like calling plays and writing stuff up and like being a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very helpful. I'm sure it's also very weird for JJ Redick to coach LeBron.
It would be weird.
Wouldn't
that be weird?
Very weird.
Extremely weird.
It's hard to say. It'll be interesting when moments get tense and they're like crunch time moments. Is LeBron going to respect his coach and listen? It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be a weird dynamic to be in that situation. But, yeah, we'll see. So anyway, cool moment for father and son. They were able to say, we don't care about the noise out there. Everybody's saying he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve that. We're having our moment. They had their moment. Good for them. And that's exciting. So
Guess I don't know.
yeah. So, all right.
Guess we'll never.
I have something that I want to do. It's called Did You See That? So there's a couple things that happened this last week that I took notes and I was like, okay, I want to talk about that. No, I want to talk about that. And so just real quick, I'm just going to go through these real fast and see if you guys saw this. So, and some of these we've already talked about, but I thought one of the funniest things that happened was Tyreek Stevenson's taunting the crowd and Commanders. Ha ha, we won. He turns around and looks, and the Hail Mary's balls up in the air. So he goes and he's like, I'm just going to knock this thing down. And all he did was set it up right there for Commanders.
Noah
and they
Brown.
get the touchdown. Oh my gosh, egg on his face. And I don't know if you saw this. The Pacers have a player. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. It's Obi Topper or something
Obi
like
Toppin.
that. So that's a dead ball. And the ball gets stuck on the top of the backboard at the back. You got to watch this. And he just takes a couple steps like it's no big deal and just tips the ball away. Top of the backboard.
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
He's a dunk contest winner. He's crazy.
It's insane what he did. And then
He's like 6'9",
and then
6'10".
Quentin Richardson. It's 3rd and goal. You're down 2 scores, a touchdown and a field goal, and he's tired and he taps out of the game.
Oh, Anthony Richardson.
Sorry, Anthony. He taps out. That was crazy. But the worst,
He quite literally told his coach, I was tired.
I was tired. Like lie. Say, you know what?
My ankle hurts.
Yeah, I was hitting the chest. I lost. I don't know. Whatever. I had the wind knocked out of me. Now I was tired. 3rd and goal.
What happened?
And then they
between last year and this year.
And then they just run the ball. Anyway,
know.
that was crazy. The worst. I don't know. For me, this was the worst. This was a cool moment. but gone wrong. But Dwyane Wade, they do the statue for Dwyane Wade.
I was just looking
and
at that.
it's sitting there, and it's such a great moment. And he says he likes it, and then they reveal it, and you look at it, and it looks more like Freddie Krueger than Dwyane Wade. It doesn't look at all like Dwyane Wade.
Oh, it's bad.
It is horrible. And he's sitting there like he says the right things, but I'm like, I don't know what they're thinking. That was crazy. That is going to be up there forever, and somebody is going to have to say, trust me, that's supposed to be Dwyane Wade. That was unbelievable.
It's not just bad, it's really bad.
It is, and he says he's happy with it.
Yeah.
The artistic opinion of, I don't know, I'd kind of like people to know that was actually me, but
does not look good.
no, that was crazy. Okay, so we now, at the end here, we're going to be going over our picks for next week. Drew caught up, and Drew and I are now tied for first, 22-14. That's where we're at. And you and Cameron and Trent are 21-15. We're all within one game of each other, which is pretty cool this far into the season. Pretty remarkable, actually. So we have, first we're going to go with our game, Thursday night game, Texans versus Jets. Who do we have? Do you want me to go first on this one? I'll just say it. I'm going to go with Texans over the Jets. The Jets seem like they're free-falling pretty good. What do you have, Cameron, Texans or Jets?
I really hope the Texans win. I get worried every week. The last 2 weeks, C.J. Stroud has not been playing good.
Yeah.
And it's not cool. They've been barely squeaking out games.
They've had the whole season's been like that.
Yeah, just more specifically the last couple weeks. But yeah, the whole season's been kind of just like seat of your pants type thing. But the Jets suck, like really bad. The Jets are absolutely like probably the worst team in the league, which is crazy. But they have nowhere to go now. They have nothing. There's no way to make it better.
No.
They've changed everything, and it still doesn't help.
They're in a really tight spot.
The one like common denominator is?
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Guy stinks.
You know what really sucks too is like they had such an elite level coach.
I know.
Their defense.
Did you see where he was?
Was elite.
Is he in
Did
the
you hear about
Caribbean
that?
or something?
Yeah,
no.
he's
He was
Packers.
at the Packers.
Yeah, he's coaching for the Packers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He is coaching on the Packers. Yeah.
He's at their practices and stuff.
Yeah.
He's not official. It's not official. He's just stealing footage, and he's going to take it to the 49ers.
I think he is officially in a spot.
That's a bummer.
I
don't know what.
He's been at their practices last.
And then they
weeks.
go out and get Devontae Adams, thinking that he's going to.
He's on their offensive staff. That's what it says. Is Matt LaFleur actually hired him to be on the offensive staff?
That's weird.
Well, I think this is what Matt LaFleur says. He says Robert Saleh's defensive mind will help our offense become better.
Okay. Yeah. There's a better spin on it than I was thinking. So.
Yeah.
All right. So who do you have? Texans, Jets,
Texans.
You took the Texans?
We both took the Texans. Oh, he's contemplating.
Don't tell me you're actually thinking about the Jets.
The Jets, when you look at their roster, you're like,
I don't care what their roster looks
you think
like.
they can,
I'm looking at their record and how they've been playing, and they suck.
Yeah, they don't look.
They lost to the Patriots. They lost to Drake May.
Yeah, they did lose.
You know how bad that is?
I know, but this is the thing.
Come on, make it. Are you going to do it?
I just don't think that
I'm actually
Aaron Rodgers.
worried that you're going to do it.
I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers. Wait, is it at Houston or is it at
Houston?
Is it at Houston? Can we confirm
I
that?
believe it's in.
I think that's going to make my decision, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you're going with the home team.
I'm not saying that. I just said I think it will make my decision.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. The problem is you get lured in by the fact that he had all this talent. He's done so many things in this league.
In New York.
In New York. It's at MetLife.
He's going for it. Are you going to do it? Are you going to pull the lever?
No, you're not.
Pull the J?
Dude, yeah.
Jackpot. Jackpot Jets. Here we go.
Give me A-Rod.
Okay.
Give me A-Rod.
That makes me worried, actually.
So dumb.
All right. Now, I'm going to go with our Chiefs fan for the Chiefs versus the Bucks. What do we got going on? Somehow, shockingly, you are playing the Bucks when they're at their weakest.
Why is this? Why are you acting like this
Because
is their fault?
It's not their fault. It's their blessing.
Well, yeah. The Bucks have no receivers. They've never had a run game.
Yeah, their run game is so interesting.
They have a mediocre defense, and their only redeeming quality is Baker Mayfield.
Give me the Chiefs.
The Chiefs look good all around, minus their quarterback. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs because I could see us totally losing this game. I've been saying that for the last 7 weeks.
That would be so Kansas City like though.
Oh yeah, just to lose to absolutely no one. Yeah, it'd be sick.
Like it'd be one thing if they lost to the Bucks. Yeah, they would never lose to the Bucks if the Bucks had all their receivers and were playing at an elite level. They would never lose to them.
No,
but now they would.
But now,
yeah. I would normally be actually going for the upset right now. There's no way I'm going against Chiefs.
No,
Chiefs,
don't do it.
Chiefs, are you going Chiefs too?
Oh, I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs forever. Okay, so Trent, we'll start with you on Eagles versus Jags.
Listen.
Ooh, here we go.
There's a coach.
There's a speech coming.
There's a coach coming back to Philadelphia. Okay, he's got a statue up in front of the building.
Yep.
But we're tearing it down. We're putting Nick Sirianni up there because we're gonna beat the Jags.
Hope he looks like Nick Sirianni.
Listen, let's just be honest. The Jags suck. They are terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they are to the point now where you're wondering, like, is Doug gonna get fired after this year? And I think he will.
Yeah,
I think he will.
They're gonna Sirianni will too
because they're not gonna.
We'll see.
We'll see. That could happen.
It's a possibility.
Both will be fired.
It's not impossible.
Yeah. All right. So Eagles. I have Eagles too. What about you, Cameron? Oh, he's got a smile on his face.
There's no way.
He's going Jags.
There's no way.
Come
he's
on.
not doing
Is
that.
it in Philadelphia?
Yes, it's in Philadelphia.
Oh, you can do it, Cameron. You got this, Cameron.
Not only is it in Philadelphia, I'll also sweeten the pot and tell you it's also an afternoon game.
Okay.
Which means it's going to be highly televised.
Do you have all your receivers back yet?
Oh, yeah, they're all back.
Go with the Jags. Go for it, Cameron.
I really want
to. I
Cam,
know you should do
really
it.
Cameron, I'm telling you, that's a bad choice. Now, if you come to me next week and we're playing the Commanders, I think, next week, and you say, I'm taking the Commanders, I'll understand, okay? There's no way the Jags are beating this.
All right, Cameron, you're on the clock. 5 seconds. Come on. 3, 2, 1.
Go Jags.
There's
Jags,
no way.
He did it.
There's
Good
no
for
way.
you. All right, last game. Trent, because last week you went undefeated. We were a little salty about not getting to make a pick.
Yep.
So you picked the Packers-Lions game. That is a good game. Who do you have winning that game?
Who did the Pack just beat? See, I'm probably just gonna go Lions, but I want to double check, just a little discount double check, you know, just for the culture.
It's interesting I mean, this is a big game. This is one of the bigger games of the year.
Beat the Jags 30-27.
Yeah,
they barely beat the Jags.
I'm taking the Lions. It's not even close.
The Lions.
I'm taking the Lions.
Taking the Lions. Okay, Cameron, what about you? Who do you have in this game?
Yeah, I got to take the Lions. The Lions just look too good and too put together, and just everything that they have goes good. Did you guys see the crazy stat for last game? For the Lions game?
You know, offensively, you mean?
Like their offensive yards.
Yeah.
They had like 260 offensive yards.
And like Jared Goff had like
6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They had like a million yards, but Jared Goff was like none of them.
Yeah, it's because they had punt returns. And
Yeah,
kick
it was like a
returns.
bunch of returns.
They had
and
like
stuff
400 yards of kick returns. and
I
punt
think
returns.
now this is in Green
Are
Bay.
you going to take the Packers?
No, this is in Green.
You're crazy.
This is in Green Bay, but right now the Lions, outside of the blessing over the Chiefs, I mean, if you just watched a team and who's playing the best,
Yeah,
the Lions are playing the best. And I'm not at the peak of this. I don't know if they peaked too early, but there's no way I'm going against the Lions.
The Lions
in this
have
game.
the best offense in the league, and the Chiefs have the best defense.
Yeah.
So
that's why they're winning games.
does Drew want to say his picks live?
Drew, you got Texans and Jets. So Drew, who are you picking?
Texans.
Texans,
Chiefs, Eagles, Lions.
Chiefs, Eagles, and Lions. Okay, here we go. So we are all on the board, and so we will see what's
Am I
going
the
on.
only one that strayed from the path?
I did.
The same.
Yeah, he went Jets.
Oh yeah, you picked the Jets.
You went Jags.
Gross.
So we'll see. But hey, we've got a fun week. Again, any of you that are out there, if you watch and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It does mean a lot to us. Please add comments. We read the comments. Sometimes we reply to the comments. We love it. You agree, disagree, whatever it is. We're getting lots of subscribers. It has gone. Our increase has just gone this way, and we're just so appreciative to everything that you guys are doing and supporting us. We'll see if the World Series ends here soon. It's 3-0 Dodgers. Congratulations to them thus far. We'll see if the Yankees have anything left, and we'll see what Week 9 brings. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time.